Okay, our project 2 is going to be a short report. So in this second project, there's going to be a little bit of student agency, some choice, and some decisions to be made. So I want to walk through this and just try and clarify and explain a few things that I was thinking might need it. And so make sure that you read over this introduction about reports, and please watch the videos in the learning materials that offer backgrounds on reports and proposals, because this type of writing is very, very common in most fields. And so for this project, you're either going to write an informational report or a recommendation report. You'll have the choice of two prompts, one of two prompts. And so let's see, we will get into that. One thing up here, make sure that this is original. Don't rob yourself of the chance to practice this type of writing. Do not use AI to generate this writing. Practice writing in a way that is professional, but it also conveys your personality and your intellect and your unique voice. Get your branding. You want to get your professional branding and your voice out there. So the instructions. First of all, there is a short report template here that I will pull up. I think I've got it right here. I've got it right here. So let me move this over a little bit. So this is a template. This is not a worksheet. You are not going to follow each of these by all of these points in this template are not going to be required for both of these prompts. Okay, you're going to pick and choose which to include, but they will include, let's see, I started down here. Follow these instructions, get to know what this template is for, but then you will choose which of these sections that you will incorporate into your report. They will all have the introduction, the scope of work, the methods, the body, and then down here is where you'll get into some choice, and then you'll get into the conclusion. So make sure that you read over those, because that will be really helpful in you understanding what is expected, but also keep in mind that you're going to have to logically and use your critical thinking to consider what sections are required for the report that you are going to write. So that'll make more sense here as we get into the actual report. You are going to write a 1,200-word report about one of these two prompts, responding to one of these two prompts. The first one, read this over, is going to be a report on mindfulness techniques. You work in HR, your company, your community has just experienced a natural disaster, and you want to write or share. You've been asked to write and share mindfulness techniques for the employees, and there are 3 basic sections that you need to include in the body. Or else you can also include, or you can respond to the second prompt, which is a report on retaining Gen Z workers. So read those over. That one does include recommendations. Read those over, and you determine which one seems easier for you, which one seems more likely that you would succeed, basically. And so you will conduct, each of these will require research. You will include at least 3 sources. One is going to be a peer-reviewed source. The other 2 sources can be something from a reputable and credible online source, something from the Wall Street Journal, Forbes, Harvard Business Review, something that is meaningful and credible and that will make an impact, not some website, some bullet point website or a single paragraph website that actually undermines your ethos and credibility as a professional. You will also include in your report 2 examples of visual data. Okay, this can be either original or it can be from a source. If it's from a source, you are going to make sure that you cite that source. Either way, you are going to integrate those visuals, those are charts, tables, and whatnot, into your report. And that means you're not just going to drop them in there without explanation, because even if information is really clear, or the connection and the meaning and the contribution of those charts is really clear to you, they will not be clear and obvious to your reader. Okay, so they are relying on your explanation of what is contained in that visual, so that they can understand the connection and how it serves as evidence to or fodder for your report. Okay, and this is just the requirements for the report, okay? So read that over. Let me know if you have any questions, but be sure to look through the learning material. There's learning material on the writing reports itself. There's learning material and videos, lecture videos on using those or creating those visuals. So make sure that you don't shortchange that. There's also learning material on writing summary, because this is going to be a lot of summary writing if they want that report, if you're writing a report on the research, all right? So make sure you take the time to look over all that content and reach out if you have any questions.